run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that. You better run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that. You better run when you hear that. I said run when you 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 hear that. I said you better run. I said run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. You better run. I said run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that.
Good evening, everybody. Bruce Foster, Chewing the Fat. Welcome to the show. That there was some footage from Lima Aviation over in Arizona. Obviously, that was the Mark Hahn 300. Now, for you guys that are not, for anybody that's not aware of the Mark Hahn 300, it's a big endurance race. They had 31 teams or competitors in that particular event. 300 miles. Very challenging event. We had our own Jamie Eadie over there as well. Unfortunately, things didn't go quite the way Jamie would have hoped, and was down the order as far as the results were concerned. So, but hey, listen, he's taking part in it, and that's the main thing. So, cracking looking event, and hopefully it's something we can feature a little bit more in the future. Okay, so tonight, what do we have on tonight? Well, the main focus tonight is the Variety JETTRek event, which is happening this coming weekend. Dion. Yeah, is that better? Is that better for you? Maybe that's a little bit better for you. Is your OCD kicking in there, Dion? So yeah, so tonight we've got Katherine Rowe on, managing director of their media. So we'll get her hooked up just now. Just give me a second and I'll get this connected up, and we'll flick over to the screen. Let me just start the meeting and launch it. Hopefully she is almost ready to come on. I'll give you a little bit background on this one while we're connecting things up. This went down to the wire. I only got a notification from Katherine that she was going to be available tonight by email. That was probably about, well, I only opened the email when I got home from work, so that was around about 4 o'clock. Needless to say, I was going to kick my feet up, take it easy. And here's Katherine now, so here we go. Let's get Katherine in. Hopefully everything looks good. I hope she realises it's a... Good evening, Dave. It's taking a little while to come in. Oh, oh. Catherine, I hope... Hey, there we go. Can you hear me?
Hi, Bruce. How you going?
Oh,
Yes.
perfect. Catherine, thank you very much. I was just saying to the people tuning in just now that I actually only got confirmation from you when I opened my emails about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I didn't even know that you were going to be available until that time. And then obviously it all kind of went a little bit crazy just to kind of get things set up. So thank you for coming on. First of all, introduce yourself to everyone, and then we can talk about the JETTRek event.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Bruce, and hopefully I was worth the wait. So I'm from Variety, the children's charity of Queensland, and our mission is to support kids who are sick, disadvantaged, and living with a disability or living with a disability. And as part of how we raise funds is we do really exciting events. So such as the Variety JETTRek, which you've obviously heard of.
Yep.
And then also we do the Variety Bash, which I'm sure a lot of the listeners has heard of as well.
That's
So the Variety,
that's the road race, isn't it?
yes, it's not a race, but yes,
Well,
it's yes, 30-year-old cars bashing through the bush basically in Queensland, and we go through amazing little small towns that you wouldn't usually get to with about 400 of your closest mates, and you just have a brilliant time. So that
Is that
usually
the
runs
criteria?
in
Sorry,
August.
Catherine. Is that the criteria? The car has to be about 30 years old, or is that just...
It does,
It
yeah. 30
does?
years
Okay.
old and
Okay.
two-wheel drive. Yep.
Okay.
So
I've got another
yes,
15 years to wait before I can use mine then.
we might make an exception if your
Ooh.
fundraising's good enough, but we can talk
Oh,
later.
okay. Fair enough. Okay, so yeah. So, what's the history of the JETTRek event? Are you aware of how that came about?
Yeah, so it's an event that's been running for 26 years. So this is its 26th year. It hasn't always been a variety event, but it has been for the last significant amount of years.
Yep.
So it's an event that runs, I guess, all over Australia. We choose a different place each year to get the PWCs in the water and do the kind of, I guess, event that you wouldn't be able to do, just on a weekend. So,
Yep.
Anywhere from 700 Ks on water, to over 800 is usually a typical event. And it runs for about 7 days. And, it's 1 week with your mates. You're out on the water together safely in your teams. And you just have a great time. There's not a lot of
So
other
obviously,
events that you
now
can do
you
that.
told me earlier on that they have a little. Now the course, the locations, it starts at Kingscliff and finishes
This year we
at
start at
Gladstone.
Kingscliff. Yes,
Yep.
yes, that's correct.
All right, so we're
Yes,
kind of up the Queensland coast, so to speak. Um,
yes.
I hear that you did tell me. Hang on a second, I got a little fly on my screen. You did tell me that Noosa was a little bit of a breaking point for the group.
Yes, so we always have a lay day in the event, so it runs for a week. So that just gives everyone the chance to rest their weary bodies if it's been a particularly big trip with some some big wins or anything like that. But also, to catch up with their friends. A lot of these our trekkers have been doing this event year in, year out. We've got some people who've done every single one of the events. So they catch up yearly with these people, and it's a great opportunity, that lay day, to really, see everybody and chat about what they've been up to and celebrating the amazing fundraising that
Yep.
everyone's done to be part of
Yep.
it. Yeah.
So I do have a little video, and I'm actually going to run the video in the background so people can see what's going on. So I don't know if you've got it on the screen anywhere, but this is actually the 2021 event.
Right.
I found it on YouTube. So
Right. Yeah.
um, sorry, I'm looking at another message that came in there. Yeah, so this is 2021, which actually went up the Queensland coast as well.
Mhm.
I think it started. Do you know this one? This one started in. Did that start in Mooloolaba?
I'm not sure about that one because but during that time we had to do, because of COVID,
Yeah.
obviously, mostly Queensland events. So the most recent one that I knew in Queensland was Mackay to Port Douglas, which
That
I think
that was the
was,
one. That was it.
yeah,
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 that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
yep. One of the people, and it's quite prominent within our community, Seb Bahadur, is actually doing your event this year. But he did the, where are we at? 24. I believe it was the 2022 ride. And no, tell a lie. We actually did that one. He did the
Oh,
2021
yeah,
ride. Yes. So
yeah, great.
he's already been on it previously, and I believe he did it with his wife, and he's doing it again with his wife this year. So
And will she be on the personal watercraft, or will
I
she
believe they're
be
both
supporting
on.
in road crew?
I believe they're both on skis.
Oh, great.
I believe they
Because
are.
they,
Yep.
obviously we have a lot of partners and friends, because people bring their road crew,
Yep.
obviously take their trailers
Yep.
with them. So whilst there's around 100 skis on the water, we generally have over 200 people as part of the group
Yep.
who are supporting in different ways.
Yep. So your support crew normally travel. Do they bring separate boats for themselves, or is that just some boats that you guys supply, or how does that
So
work?
yeah, we have as part of our safety, we have two support boats in the water at all times, and we have, I believe there's 5 different teams, and there's around 15 skis per team, and they launch at different times so that the field is spread out enough for safety. And
Yep.
then we usually have one boat that sticks up the front, and then one boat that sticks up the back, and everyone has EPIRBs, and is followed by safe tracks and things like that to make
Yep.
sure that everyone's getting to where they need to go safely. But yeah, we have boats in the water to support the group to go through, each
Well,
day, each leg.
I did watch a bit of this video, and although it looks nice and calm at the moment, where we're kind of, I think that's around about the Broadwater and no, tell that must be a little bit further north, obviously, because it's up Mackay way. But there's footage in here where it does get quite choppy and quite gnarly. So yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that one.
Well, it does, you've got to, I guess, work with what's thrown at you. And obviously, a lot of our people are quite experienced,
Yeah,
but also the group is there to help those who aren't quite experienced,
yeah,
to make it through the leg.
yeah,
And if there's any kind of safety risk, we pull people out of the
yeah,
water. So
yep.
it's just not worth our time. So obviously, we have, people who are watching the weather, watching all of those things, people more intelligent than I am, and just
I've
making
got no
sure that
doubt there will be plenty
conditions.
of riders, experienced riders, not just your organisers watching the weather. They'll be watching it as
Yes,
well, so they'll all know what they're getting into. And saying
absolutely.
that, I'm saying, oh, I don't know if I would do it, but I would do it. I've been in worse situations. Like look like that footage I'm looking at right now is that's pretty calm, but you do it for the ride, you do it for
Yeah,
the adventure. But I think it's more importantly to think about the reasons why you're doing it. It's for a worthy cause, and I couldn't think of any better reason than to do it for that. So that's pretty good.
and we
Go
often
on.
have a family that joins us, one of our variety families, who get to come along. They don't go on the skis, but they come along with us as a VIP family. So the trekkers get to meet the people that their fundraising is actually
Oh,
helping.
that's
So
good.
when you are having a bit of a rough day, you can, have a chat to that family and kind of think, well, this is why I'm here,
Yep.
and these people are awesome. So,
Yep.
you get
Yep.
through that together
I
for
believe it
sure.
would be a very humbling experience.
It really is. It
Yes.
really is. It's humbling in the way that you you're doing something for your community, obviously, and being really generous with your time, but also the mateship that you form. Like these people, some of them don't see each other, until the next trek, and they're mates for life.
Yep.
They love coming together. So it's really part and parcel, that mateship, the adventure, and then obviously that cause and
Yep.
supporting kids who need it most.
I've just got a friend of mine who he actually lives around the corner from me, close to me at the house. He's just posted a comment in here. He wants in on the event. Dion, you're going to have to wait until 2025, mate, which Catherine's actually going to discuss shortly. So we'll come to that one in a little bit. Okay, so where about are the locations that each from on each day? On which day and where are they
So,
stopping?
yeah, absolutely. So we all gather down at Kingscliff on Sunday, the 3rd of March,
Yep.
and we hold our scrutineering and rego. So, everyone's personal watercrafts are checked out safe for safety, making sure they've got all their gear on there. And then we hold our safety briefing. We actually launch from Kingscliff on Monday, the 4th of March, and we're down there from 7:30. So obviously we launch in teams. So we ensure that the boat ramp is still accessible by, the locals, etc. We get into Brisbane that day from about lunchtime. So we go from Kingscliff to Brisbane, and then we're staying in Brisbane the night. And then the next morning, we're going from Brisbane to Noosa, but we stop at Bribie. So we're heading to Bribie and we're going to have brunch there at the VMR, who are amazing, supporters of what we do. And then we go from...
There's a nice chip shop there.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll have chips, but they are supplying all the lunches for us and they do a great job. So I can't thank them for sure. And then we're into Noosa. Noosa, we're there that night and we have our lay day there.
Yep.
And then Thursday, we go from Noosa to Hervey Bay and we stop at Tin Can Bay for our lunch stop. And then Friday, we go Hervey Bay to Agnes Water. And then our final day, we come in to finish from Agnes to Gladstone. So we're riding in there on Saturday.
Saturday afternoon? Yeah, it would be because you're leaving Saturday morning. Yeah,
Saturday morning. So we usually get in, and it's like I said, it's staggered, but I would assume that people would be arriving. I've got it on my run sheet here from 11 a.m. They arrive, and then we have a really big celebration like a gala event to celebrate the amazing fundraising, the amazing event, and just thanking everyone and putting on a bit of a show, I guess, and having a great night together.
Yep. I have noticed, I've just looked up the page, which I'm going to highlight shortly once we finish here. You're just, $14,000 short of the 300,000 mark. So
yes,
pretty good. Yes. Let's say 286,000 at the moment. So that's pretty good.
It is. I would hope. I really want to get to 300 before we leave. We raised 340-ish last year. So I'm hoping we'll hit around that, if not more, by the time we come into Gladstone. Yep. So, if any of your community wanted to get involved and support someone or support the event, that's a great way to get involved. And then we'll be able to, get you on our expression of interest list for next year's event. Yep.
There you go, Dion. There you go, Dion. That's where you get your expression of interest, mate. Just now, so to backpedal a little bit, when you come into Brisbane, Brisbane's obviously a reasonably large place. Do you know exactly where around Brisbane you'll be coming in?
Yeah, I believe we're coming in that Murray area. So there's a boat ramp.
The Columnsley boat ramp.
Oh, that's a bit of a detail. So you're coming into the Brisbane River area anyway. So so that kind of area for sure. We've got obviously all the permits and
I'm just wondering. I'm actually thinking because I would love to come out and just kind of and be on my ski and just shout the people, shout the guys coming, just a bit of support for the guys, for everybody that's taking part, and I'd love to see all the skis coming in. But you reckon from about lunchtime?
It is, and we'd love to have you, lots of skis in the water is obviously a little bit difficult, but if there's any locals around, we'll let them go through for sure. But people will be coming in. It's not the nicest boat ramp to, but I know that the guys will be having, or all the trekkers will be having a beer at, I think it's Brewdog down there.
I think it's the Columnsley boat ramp that you're going to, because the Brewdog's pretty close to there.
Yeah, so I can confirm that detail for you after this, Bruce, if anyone
I do really like, Katherine, how the boat ramp is really dictated by the local watering hole. I see the logic. I really do see the logic in that. It's like that's quite good planning.
Yeah, well, we are pretty good at event planning for sure, but that isn't the general reason why we have those boat ramps. It's generally about what is the best boat ramp to get 100 skis in and out of the water. So that's the main criteria for that one. But we do every night love to get together. That, you know, like I said, these are mates catching up year on year. You know, often you'll find everyone in the car park at the end of the day having a chat, talking, you know, around their skis, how the day was, swapping footage, you know, from the GoPro.
Exactly. There'll be
And
a
having
lot
a
of
catch up.
footage going around.
Yeah. And we also have obviously a videographer that comes with us, and they have a drone. So we have an amazing video that gets played at the end of just wrapping up the whole event, you know, and yeah, and it's really great.
Are you in attendance for the duration of the event?
Yes, I will be there. I will be road crewing. So
So
obviously
you're not jumping on one of those
I am not jumping on a
fast skis then?
no.
No. Why? Why not?
No. No, no.
Catherine, you would love it. You would love it.
No, I do,
You
but
get the
they
wind in your
always try to
hair.
keep me off.
You get the wind in your hair and everything. The problem is you've got to be careful you don't lose it. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
So,
someone needs to make sure that, you know, the marketing and the media people are looked after, and the
do
social
it on your
media is kept
ski.
up to
Do it on
date,
your
and,
ski.
you know,
Do it on the
yeah.
ski. Do it on the ski. Um, oh well, nice little adventure. You'll be busy though, because everybody will be pulling
Oh,
together to make it
absolutely.
all happen. So totally
Yeah.
understandable. But
And
um,
we have, you know, we have staff on the event, but it is quite minimal. Most of our officials are volunteers,
yeah.
and they volunteer and donate their time. They pay their own way, and they fundraise, you know, to do all these amazing things for us. And, you know, there's probably you know, minimal staff on the event
So
because we want
Catherine,
to
just
maximize that fundraising.
Oh, cool. That's great. If come Monday when they're kind of heading towards Brisbane, if I message you and just say, do you have an approximate ETA into Brisbane, and would that be okay? And then I can maybe post it up if some people want to come out and meet or greet or what. What do you think?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want it to be I don't want it potentially be a crowded
yes,
waterway.
that would be a concern, I must admit. But we would be happy to, you know, catch up with anyone at, you know, is it Brew Dog or Brew Tap? I should learn that.
It's
And then
Brewdog.
everyone will also, Brew Dog. And then everyone will also be, if people can't make it because it's during work hours, everyone will be at the Plough Inn that night for, you know, for dinner. So there is an opportunity, you know, if you're really interested in the event.
Where are they staying?
Come on down.
Where are they staying? Wedges?
So because we have so many people, we stay at multiple hotels. Yeah. So the accommodation is, you know, arranged. Everyone pays their own way, but it's arranged. There's about 220 of us, so we often have to stay at multiple hotels, and we just find a location.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's this year's. Do you want to put out details for the 2025 for expressions of interest?
I will. I've got some minimal details because it's going to be a very exclusive event. So 2025, we're doing Tasmania. So it's really, really exciting. We've never been down there before. We've always had a lot of interest from Tasmania Water Ski Club, Jetski Club. So they're big supporters of ours, and we often have a number of their members attending our events, which is wonderful. So we're going down to see what it's all about down there. And, you know, we will be releasing those spaces, because they will be exclusive, on the return of the trip. So we get the people who have already attended before, they get first dibs. So we have a particular amount of licenses for our event, which is 120. And so we fill up pretty quickly. But if you want to express your interest, it'll be first in, best dressed to get a spot on that. And I believe it's going to sell up pretty quickly.
I'm assuming you've filled all the licenses, all the spaces for this year?
We did, but we obviously people sign up a year in advance. So sometimes things come up for sure. You know, even someone recently, they hurt their shoulder, for example, when they're out. So there is some, you know, a little bit of swapping and changing right towards the end, but we do need to confirm everybody in regards to accommodation and food and all of that at least 6 weeks out. So it's a lot of planning, and our events team, I don't think you'll find a better set of logistical minds. They've got a bigger brain than I do for sure, but they've been doing this event for the director for 12 years,
All
I
right.
believe.
So,
So
so for
she's amazing.
anybody, so for anyone who's maybe interested in the 2025 ride, just have to be patient and wait until after this event, and then see how many people pick up the spaces from that are in this year's event.
And we'll let you know. So
Yeah.
we'll launch that during the event. So we'll launch the expression of interest page. So if you keep an eye on Variety, the Children's Charity Queensland Facebook,
Yep.
and join the Variety JETTRek group on Facebook,
Yep.
then you'll be the first to know.
Cool.
If you make a donation, we'll obviously have your email address, and we'll be letting those guys know as well.
Yeah.
So the expression of interest page will be up next week for that
Okay.
one for sure.
Cool. Now, as far as the money that's raised, is it exclusively used in Queensland, or is it, countrywide? Just out of
Yeah. So
Go on.
yeah, absolutely. So we generally grant is what we call it in Queensland, but we have programs. And for this particular event, we get a lot of people all over Australia. Wherever we go, we try to engage with the local community and see if there's any need. So, for example, if we're in Tasmania, we'll obviously look into Tasmania if there's some families that need
Yep.
our help for sure. But our programs also can run nationally as well. So we have Variety Kids Active Sports Days and Sports Camp, which are for kids with a disability to encourage them to engage in sport and to try some different sports and to see if they're in a really safe and inclusive environment, to see if they connect with something. And obviously the benefits of sport for any child is amazing, but particularly with kids living with a disability, it's just so important, I guess, to have those experiences alongside their peers. So there's a lot of programs that we fund that are Queensland, from right in Brisbane all the way up to the tip. And then there's also things like medical equipment, particular grants. We often fund power wheelchairs which don't get funded by NDIS.
Right.
And next month we're having a Braille music camp. So that camp is for
wonderful.
blind and vision impaired kids to learn music, and how to play music and how to read music, and then perform a concert at the end. And it's over a 2-day period. It's often the first time these kids have ever been away from home.
2 days to learn and then suddenly put something together. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's really amazing, and we have kids from all over Australia attending that. So it's really exciting. There's a lot of amazing things that we're doing with the funds being raised, and it just, every dollar matters, whether you're turning a sausage at Bunnings or whether So there's so many stories, and one of them is just, Ivy and Olive, who will be joining us for the event. Both those girls are living, sisters living with a disability. They both use wheelchairs, and they'll be coming along with us. And they've been supported by Variety over a number of years with a number of things. Family.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds brilliant. Okay, that sounds perfect. Now as far as I'm aware, I'm aware of 3 riders that I call friends who are taking part in it. So we've got Belle and Mike Anderson taking part, and then Seb, obviously, Seb Bahadurian. I'm not sure. I did read somewhere that there might be another rider in Queensland that's taking part, but there are probably a few in Queensland that are taking part. Seb actually is coming up from Sydney.
Yes.
So he's probably, he was hoping to join the show tonight so he could actually kind of be involved in the conversation, but he said he was driving. Now, what he meant by that, I'm not entirely sure, whether he was coming up this way or whether he was just driving around Sydney, I don't know. But these guys, I had a look on the Variety page, and their names are high up on the list as far as fundraisers are concerned, from a numbers standpoint. So congratulations to them. And I'm going to go to the page once we're finished here, Catherine, and I'll just try and give it a little bit of a shout out and a bit of a push for people to go to and donate.
I really appreciate
so we'll
that.
we'll see what comes of it. Now, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. So before you go, I always allow our guests to say a final piece, whether it's a shout out, thank you, whatever. So the space is all yours if you want to say what you need to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess from my point of view, I just want to thank everyone who's involved in the Jet Trek in regards to the supporters coming along and fundraising for those kids. You know, we couldn't do what we do without those people, and it makes a huge difference. So it's just a massive shout out to them. This week or next week on the event is a celebration of all their hard work all year. Most of them have raised, over $4,000 to be
Yeah.
part of this, and it just means, the world. And it's a great time. I can't tell you how enjoyable it is. And if you want to get involved, if Tasmania is something that's been on your bucket list and you would also like to make a difference in kids' lives, head to the Variety Jettrek page and have a look around, and then express your interest. And, we'll reach out to you when we return.
Exactly. Nice one, Catherine.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Bruce.
Hey, listen, I'm really, really thankful for you coming through at the final hour for me. I was actually on the verge of flying solo with tonight's show, so you've kind of really saved my bacon quite a bit, and I can't appreciate that enough. So thank you very much for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Bruce.
All the best to everyone involved over the next 7-8 days.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, take care. Thank you. So there we go, Katherine Rowe, Variety Queensland. And let me just get that page up for you. Guys, there's the sign up. That's a sign up for 2024. Obviously, there will be expressions of interests being sought out after this particular event is done. So do keep your eyes open. So we have this particular page, which is the varietyjettrek.com.au. But if you look up Variety Jettrek on Facebook, you'll find it there. But also look up Variety Queensland as well, and you'll find all the details in there as well. Katherine represents the Queensland branch of Variety, and there you'll find all the details. Guys, if you're stuck at a push, message me and I'll get you the details if required. So there's the page. As you can see, there's some info there about what's happening with the ride this year. Pretty good one, and a few things going, a few details in there. What the ride's all about, the money that's been raised. It's even got a list of who the fundraisers are. There's Mike in here, if you can see that. That's Mike Anderson. Bell's in here as well. And give me a second. Was there earlier? She's disappeared. There she is. There's Bell. And Seb's down a little bit as well. If you can, please contribute to either one of those three people. Seb is just a tad under the $3,000 mark, so help get him over the hump, over the $3,000 hump, and that would be really appreciated. He'd love it, and let's help try and get that figure up over the 3,000 mark, 300,000 mark if possible. As a community nationwide, we should be able to do something to help push that up. Every dollar counts, so if you can get involved in that would be fantastic. All right, so that's the Jet Trek. Watch this space for 2025. Okay, now let's go on to our roundups, and this here is the racing from the Wellington Jetski Club at the weekend. The summer series of round 2. Let me just put up some pictures there. I'm just going to flick through it. Unfortunately, I don't have a series of results. I don't know where they are. Well, the club hasn't put any results up, so I'm not entirely sure who has been placed where. But there's some of the action, and looking pretty nice out there. It's actually pretty good. It looks really good there. And so that's just some of the Wellington Jetski Club. That was the summer series round 2, the Wellington Jetski Club, and let's go on to that was from Rachel Grady from Living in the Moment, who put those pictures up. So thank you for that, Rachel. She sent them through to me this morning, which was fantastic for me to to highlight on the show tonight. And guys, if you've got anything that you want to highlight, especially when I'm trying to round up results from the weekend's events, if you happen to have the results handy or at your disposal, please forward a copy to me so I can at least get it out there. It would have been lovely to have the results called out for the Summer Series event from the Wellington Jetski Club event. So New Zealand, again, the Jetski Racing New Zealand Inc., they've got the Round 4 series coming up and a Grand Prix on the 9th, 10th of March at Kinloch in Lake Taupo. It's a 2-day event, national event, 7 races each class. And guys, if you're thinking about it, you want to race, get in touch with organisers. It's a bit of a tight, you're not going to have time to get your ski there now, but hey, listen, if you fancy racing and you've got some contacts there, even contact the organisers. They might be able to fix something up for you. You never know. Okay, so definitely, even if you want to go down and watch events there, go down and watch, help out, hold the skis, whatever. Anything to help the clubs make things easier and events to run smoother. Okay, so that's coming up on the 9th of March. Now, Dave Venel gave me a bit of a confirmation as well. So we got the Grand Prix on the 9th of March at Kinloch, and then the weekend after that at Karapiro is the New Zealand Nationals, the New Zealand JSBA Nationals is the following weekend after the Grand Prix, and then 4 weeks later you're back at Karapiro again for round 2 of the Nationals again. So I don't know who's planning on going to that or who can attend. Bailey, I'm not sure if you're planning on going. We'll watch this space and see if any of our Australian riders make it down there. So that's New Zealand Jetski Racing at the moment. So that's Dave Venel's group or gang. New South Wales PWC. Again, I don't have. Let me just refresh that page, just in case the results have went up while I've been to air. No, they haven't, unfortunately. Round 2 of their summer series. That's right, so it was, Dave. Sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry. We go back to Dave's event. The second round of the Nationals isn't New Zealand. He's talking about round 2 of the Nationals here in Australia at Lake Macquarie, Alabama. So that's what he was talking about. Sorry, Dave. That's right. You did tell me that, and I shot my brain there. Okay, so that's what Dave's up to. I'll come to that shortly. Okay, so Chipping Norton, rounds 2, Summer Series, New South Wales. Again, I don't have the results. There's some of the footage, some of the images. Hopefully you can see them okay. Is that Mark Q? So that might be Paul Baisley. I'm not too sure who they are. Some of them are. I think that's AJ, sorry. Apex there. So there's some of the racers. Yeah, that's Paul Baisley. That's AJ. I believe. No, wait a minute. That might be. I might be wrong. That could be Tate. Might be Tate Simon. Okay. If I had a list of results, I'd probably be able to better identify them. So, Chipping Norton's a nice little course. It's a bit of a kind of got a really bit of a turn where it's kind of part of the track is hidden around to the left hand side, but it's a lovely little location, and yeah, I'm hoping to get down there pretty soon. So that's New South Wales. Now I'm going to go back because they have also shared the AGSBA second round at Lake Macquarie. Now there's sponsorship info packs that are available for anyone who's interested in coming on board and helping to support and sponsor this particular event, or a particular class within the event. You can contact the New South Wales, contact the AGSBA. In fact, if you're interested in a sponsorship pack, if you don't want to go online and go look for them, message me. I'll get it sorted out for you. I can get a copy sent to you if you're interested. The more on board, the better. It makes light work, makes life easier for everyone. Great bit of branding for any potential sponsors. So yeah, come on board. Quicker you get on it, the better. And it is for everyone. So hit them up or just drop me a message and I'll fix it up for you. So that's New South Wales and the AGSBA as well. That's coming in pretty soon as well. So let's remember when that event is. 12th and 14th of April. I'll be going down to that and helping out down there. So looking forward to that one. That's New South Wales. Queensland. Now we obviously have the 2024 race calendar up. First two sessions are actually going to be practice sessions. Dion, if you're interested in getting involved or trying it out for a bit of racing, if you fancy it, go up to Redcliffe on the 24th or the 28th. 24th of March and the 28th of April at Redcliffe, Clontarf Beach, Bells Beach. You'll get a practice. You can do, like, obviously it's a tune, but it's an intro to racing as well. So the idea is, if you've got a friend, the two of you can go, take your skis up, you'll get it for free. The QPWC will cover the cost of your insurance. If you go on your own, it will cost you $50. It's in your own interest if you want to take a friend and get them to try it out as well. And that way you both get it for free. Worth a go. Now, bear in mind, you do also need to have the proper equipment. So my advice would be try and source it from someone rather than make the commitment to buying it, because obviously you're looking at a $300 helmet, I don't know, $100 back brace, some of the other bits and pieces that you would need as well. And it would be worthless if you're going to buy all that equipment and then get up there for one session and go, nah, I don't want to do it. It's not for me. Okay, but come up, even if you don't want to have a go at it on the 24th of March, come up and have a look, see what's going on, ask some questions, and feel free to pick the people's brains that are there. Unfortunately, that particular weekend, although as much as I would love to go there, be there on the 24th of March, I'm actually down in Melbourne for the Grand Prix, but I'll be there for the 28th of April, so I will be up and taking a look at that and maybe even giving it a go myself. So that's QPWC. The racing in earnest will start on the 26th of May, which will be round one at Somerset Dam. Okay, so that's Queensland. And now this one caught my eye. Now this is the more rec stuff and kind of social riding type stuff. Now Seb Bahadurin, our saviour, who is very much like me, he's a bit of an advocate for trying to be safety conscious and courteous and respectful of your environment, and there's a call to ban jet skis on a peninsula down in New South Wales. Ettalong and Umina beaches has attracted over 1,500 signatures so far. If you've got any submissions and comments that you need to make, jump on board. This is in a centralcoast.news. It's their Instagram page, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this somewhere on Facebook. If it is, in fact, I've got a feeling I might have actually shared it on our Jetski Republic page. Have a look at it on the Jetski Republic page. You'll have to scroll down a little, maybe. I can't remember if I did place it there or not. If I haven't, I will. So have a look at it. If it's in your interest, if this is your domain, and whether it's not your domain or not, and whether you ride your ski, we want to try and keep the waterways open for all riders, whether it be a jet ski rider or boats. Okay, so it always seems to be, yet again, we always seem to get the bad end of the stick. It's not a good thing. Now, as read Seb's comment, and hi everyone, hi to everyone here. I know I'm not a support in this space, but here goes. Frustrated locals encountered with bad or unsafe riding is not representative of the wider ride community. Very true, it's not a representation of the wider community. It's also very seasonal and weather dictated, as the same irresponsible minority only come out in sunshine or hot weather. I too want to get rid of police he also wants to get rid of it. Police enforce any of these wrongdoers, but not at the expense of the ones that do the right thing. I support the call for action, but measured and targeted. I would support harsher penalties, confiscation of vehicle, please direct the anger at the group within the group. Yeah, totally agree. Think measures can be put in place to keep locals and riders satisfied. Thanks for your time, a local rider. Hi, Rach. Dion. Well, that's your patch, mate. That's your old patch that they're talking about trying to ban jet skis. And I know the situation because we have exactly the same situation here in the southeast of Queensland and pretty much anywhere else where there's large groups of jet skis. So you get the seasonal riders. And even the seasonal riders, even the all day, 365 day of the year riders, sometimes even they get it wrong as well. We're constantly trying to police our own community at the risk of being abused and confronted, basically told to F off, all that kind of stuff. It happened to me about 5-6 weeks ago. For then someone to come online and say, when I pointed out the behaviour, then someone, that particular person admitted to it and then tried to accuse me of being aggressive and dismissive. Listen, I've got the video footage. I don't wish to put it in a public domain, and I won't put it in a public domain, but I know it vindicates me. The conversation is clear as day. The tone of the voice is clear as day. You were doing wrong. You're not admitting it, but you're the ones that's going to give us a bad name. You're the one that's going to make it bad for all of us. I called it out. That's why you took the hump. I did have it on footage because I had my GoPro running in my jacket to try and make out that I was the one that was trying to get them out the road so that I could get the pictures of the dolphins. Crap, I've got hundreds of pictures of dolphins. I don't need any more. So, when you're riding over the top of dolphins at their expense and you're not meant to be, then it got to be called out. And I'll happily take that on the chin from anyone. If they don't like what I say, tough. I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it because somewhere along the line, and other riders like Seb and Nat do exactly the same thing. They call it out and they get so much abuse for it, but they're doing the right thing. I would back up anybody that does the right thing and tries to call somebody out for it. So it only gives us a bad name, and we're starting to see some of it with examples of this down in New South Wales. It's only a matter of time before it happens up here. I guarantee it will happen at some point. There'll be considerations given to, signatures collected to get certain to get jet skis banned on the Broadwater in certain areas. It's going to happen eventually at some point. We've got so many jet skis up here, and a lot of them are just seasonal riders that are out having a bit of a hoon and don't give a shit about anybody else but themselves and the environment in which they're in. They don't give a monkeys about that either. So, guys, like if you're going to do the wrong thing, I'll call it out. I don't care. I've got a platform here. I'll use it if I have to. I'll never try to name and shame. I'll point out the behaviour. If you wish to admit to it and own up to it, that's fine. Yeah, I won't apologise for trying to call somebody out for shitty behaviour. Okay, so, right, I'm off my soapbox anyway. But, guys, take a look at these. Take a look at this as an example of what can happen on your own patch. So be aware of that, all right? So, that's that. That's my bit of advocacy for the week. What's going on in the social groups? Right, our two big ones at the moment, our two big groups, Jet Ski Riders Gold Coast and Brisbane. There are a number of people here looking to get out for rides. Hook up with different groups and people, Fridays, Saturdays, and over at Tangalooma from the Gold Coast, Scarborough. Check this group out, Jet Ski Riders Gold Coast and Brisbane. Guys, I'm a moderator on this group. I'm in double figures with the number of people that want to join this group every day that I have to try and accept. I get a lot of digital creators as well from India, funny enough. Yeah, they don't get in. But it's certainly it's a good point of reference if you're looking to hook up with other riders and get you out. So let me just second. Glenn Corker has put a comment up in regards to my last topic. I bet it's more about noise for those who live on the waterfront. Yeah, but it's probably also the way they behave as well. You know, too close to swimmers, too close to beach. You know, probably. Yeah, noise probably. Yeah, um, but can't be any noisier than some of the boats that you hear going out and about on the water. So yeah, it's you got to wonder about that sometimes. Yeah, so check out this group if you're looking to hook up for a ride. There's a few coming up over the next couple of days. Question there about carrying your extra fuel for your skis. Guys, there's multiple ways of that. Most of the manufacturers now, Sea-Doo, Yamaha, Kawasaki, they've got racks that you can fit on the back. There's also bespoke ones as well, which are manufactured by other brands that you can also fit on the back of your on the back of your skis. Um, I don't have any of that. I've got my old trusty Kawasaki here, 2013 model. I still strap it on with some ratchet straps, 20 litre carton, sometimes 40 litres depending on what I'm doing. A few ratchet straps on it, a mat underneath it, just to protect the surface in case the petrol gets out or just leaks a little bit. And that's pretty much me. So do your research. There's so much variety out there. And guys, and girls, a point for you is when you go to these groups, if you're asking questions related to them, try the search bar first. So go to the search first and search the group, put the topic in, okay, and you'll find what you're looking for, okay. If you can't find it, then obviously fire up the question. Pretty straightforward. All right. Now, what else? Oh, there's a few skis up for sale. Now, weather. I'm still got to work with a couple of people in regards to trying to put something together for a show where we can read the weather across the southeast Queensland area, particularly over the Moreton Bay area. It's something that I'd love to set it up as an online workshop where we have a few like-minded minds all contributing to it. So, aka, a sort of like a Zoom call conference broadcast where we have 3 or 4 people in and the map's there and it can be shared and utilised, and the map's there for all the participants in the conversation that are also given instructions on how to read the weather and how to read the maps. They can interact with it as well and help guide anyone who is unsure of how to assess the weather or upcoming weather over the Bay area or the Broadwater. Okay, so we're still working on that one. There's some technical issues that we have to try and work on. There was a suggestion about setting it up in a hall, which came from Glenn Corkery. It's a great idea in principle. I just wonder about, it always helps to serve people that live locally. Whereas, and to do something, if I'm going to do it live, if I was going to do that live, then I think it would be better done as just like this, where I just get some guests on and we do it as a Zoom call, share the file, share the screen, and then everybody can interact with it, and everybody can follow it and put their independent view on, because everybody reads it slightly different. You know, when you think about the weather on the Bay, it's what you tolerate. It's what you're willing to tolerate yourself, and whether you're willing to take more of a risk, or whether you're happy or you're looking for those perfect conditions to just head and cruise on over, or are you willing to go easy over and come back with a rough. You know, there's all that to kind of weigh up. Some people would want it easy both ways. Some want it. Some are quite happy to take it rough, and go over the rough water. That's their choice. It's all down to tolerance of what you're willing to put up with. So everyone's interpretations would be slightly different. Okay, but we'll come to that when we get something organised and we can work out how we're going to get the whole thing on the screen. Okay, getting on screen is not the problem, but the logistics of bringing the components together so that it works properly, that's what I've got to try and figure out. So my brain's working overtime trying to figure that one out. All right, so watch this space. Now, last page is Jetski Jake. He's got a few things going on at the moment. First up, I want to thank Carl We had on Carol last week on the show, and Jake as well. We did a Saturday night ride down the Broadwater, surfers, in at Paradise Point, over to Tipplers, quick bite to eat, wait till it's starting to get dark, boom, right down the Broadwater, down to surfers. We got a little bit of fireworks, we got a little bit of a light show, and then coming back up, we even got a glimpse of Queen of the... I can't remember. Queen of the Stone... I can't remember what the band's name is. That's bad of me. They were playing live in the Broadlands Parkland, so I just, like all the rest of the guys beached their jet skis, I sat out on the water. I got a clean view, boom, right through the bushes, right through the trees to the stadium, to the stage, and yeah, you could hear it as clear as day as well. So it was pretty good. I was pretty pumped. So I got a free concert thanks to Jake and Carol for all of about 15 minutes, but it was good, pretty good fun. And so thank you for that. The weather gods held off, which I'm so thankful for as well. And no sooner had we gotten back to the ramp and started to get the skis on the trailers, boom, it absolutely hammered down. And yeah, so everybody made a quick exit. So thanks again for that one. Anyway, all right. Now, what's Jake got coming up? Now, they do have a scavenger hunt ride scheduled for a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, I believe. It will be posted up. It will be reposted and re-advertised. So, this is the big event that's coming up in August. Put in your diaries, 2nd to the 4th of August. If you fancy going up to Burham Heads, which is just north of Harvey Bay, there will be a camp out, rides on the water. I'm not entirely sure where exactly they will go. Pretty sure Jake and his crew will be working on that as we speak. He'll have some ideas about what he's wanting to do. He'll be taking some local knowledge as well. And that's certainly something to look for. He's got a site booked out, ready for us to just everybody to say, yep, we're in. I'm planning on going up. I know there's a few others going. Go to the event. If you're planning on going, stick your name down for it, say you're going. And yeah, it should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. Now, there was something else. Oh, yes, there it is. Remember, this event's coming up. The Win the Ski, JSW Power Sports are raffling off a 300 RXP. No, it's not. Oh, I can't remember what model it is. That I recognise it. GTRX. There it is, a 300 GTRX. That's what it is. Yeah, so comes with 12 months insurance, 12 months rego, trailer. Yeah, what more could you ask for? The ski, obviously, as well. You get that. You have to be in attendance on the day when it gets drawn. Go to the JSW website. You'll be able to enter through that website. Okay, you'll also, if you go to their Facebook page as well, it'll be there. It'll be located there as well. So look them up and get your entry in. But you have to be in attendance to win it. If your name gets drawn and you're not there, it gets thrown in the bin. All right, so that's that. Guys, that's pretty much it for the week. All the rec stuff's done. Guys, if you're going for rides out and about with people, make sure you let your loved ones know where you're going. I got into trouble the other day. I went out on, when did I go? Friday. Saturday night, sorry, when I did the ride. And although Jake and all the rest of them, I was with them, my wife and my son had no idea where I was. They knew I was going to Surfers, but they had no idea where I was putting in and how long I would be. And even when I went out on Monday after work, the same thing happened. I forgot to tell them where I was and got in a little bit of trouble because I should have told them because I went on my own. I only went for a squirt out on the bay for a couple of hours. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. Always remember to tell your nearest and dearest where you're going. Tedious task probably, even if you write it down and leave the details. That way they know where you are. If something, if you don't turn up, you don't come back, then they know there's something wrong. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping there for yourself and your safety. So that's that. Now, I have give me a second. I'm going to finish the show with a snippet of some footage that I took on Monday when I was out and about on the bay. Now, the full version of the video I've actually posted on the YouTube channel, so if you want to check out the full version video, it is located there. It will be under Bay Ride Tales. So it was just me having a little run around on the bay over Peel, Amity and stuff. This video I'm going to leave you with is me actually coming into the Dunwich Foot Passenger Terminal, and I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to explain it anymore. So this is what I did. This is what I got up to on Monday, or part of what I got up to on Monday. Like I say, the full video is on YouTube. Guys, wherever you happen to be over the weekend, have a great time. Enjoy what we have, no matter where you are in the country or overseas. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the conditions, look after yourself, respect each other, but more importantly, have some fun. Until next week, take care. Ferry terminal, foot passengers. The car ferry is further up, and also the little ship club. Ship, I said. Right, now you can actually bring a ski up here, but you've got to be very careful when the tide goes out, because it gets a bit... Oh, there's the rescue boat there. So it's somebody on North Straddie, unfortunately. Not so good. Well, ramp, nice little club there. You can tie your boat up, or you can tie your ski up. But I've sat over here a couple of times with friends and my wife, and you do see some boats and skis get caught on the sandbanks, which develop here pretty quickly when the tides go out. So you've got to be pretty mindful of that. It's a narrow, very narrow passage or channel that will take you round to a jetty, which is on this side around here. Now, I've never been over to this part. You can see, actually see the sandbank just over there, but there is some around here as well. So there's that jetty there, and as you can see, the rocks just beyond it makes it a little bit tight sometimes. Well, there's a sandbank there, and that just gets bigger as the tide goes out. So I'm going to do an about turn here. It's getting a bit shallow here, I can see. So you can tie up to that if you're coming in on your ski for a little bit. Grab yourself a little drink in there. It's a nice little club. Traditional town club. Worth a visit though. That's part of Dunwich. I'll take a run back down the coast towards ferry, the car ferry terminal. Let you see that as well. So a little ramp there. So I don't know, I haven't seen it being used much, but it obviously does get used. So one way in, one way out. Winds are really down on this side here, so it's dropped quite a bit, the wind, which is good. Awesome. The passenger